Our name is Brinc.io. We help build and accelerate hardware innovation. So we have accelerators all around the world. We have a studio in mainland China, so you can actually get your products designed, developed, manufactured. And we have growth and online teams to help actually ship those products and grow distribution, which I'm excited to talk about today. So because we do physical products, there's a little bit of a difference here. And I was in the Valley for almost 10 years, so moving to Asia is a perfect counterpart of the brain you have to think about this. Because as a physical company, you don't have the ability to stay local. You just cannot. The entire physical world is competing with you, and when you're doing a physical product, especially when we do electronics, day one you put that website up, you're competing with Apple, Samsung, Huawei. That doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how small you think you are, you're competing with the big guys instantly. Now, the mistake people make is two sides. They make the mistake of thinking that they can only do e-commerce, BS, and they also think that they should scale super fast to every single market, and they want to get distributors in like 10 different countries. Their crowdfunding campaigns ship to like 97 countries in their first crowdfunding campaign or something. All those things stress a startup in a way that's not reasonable in the early days. So we try to be more thoughtful and figure out what are the logical countries you should be in, both online and offline. Work with a couple of small distributors or partners. Don't go to the entire retail chain, target nationwide in your first product. These are just sort of like basic mistakes that are just these fallacies that we see in the sort of media landscape that we try to help instill these best practices in founders early to give them a chance to become strong, because they actually are competing with the juggernauts immediately, and you just can't do that when you're small. You have to find where you can be strong and protect yourself, generally as commercial success, money, profit, and then actually go build and scale out later. I want to touch this super fast. We underestimate the defensibility globally, like especially in this whole startup world, of what it means when you can integrate culture. So in the Valley in particular, where I was from, I think there's this myopic perspective of like, what's right, and it's like essentially having everything in near your investors, like everything in one place. Our company is a nightmare to integrate. We have 11 languages from 10 countries, and guess what? That's also why we're strong and people can't compete very well with us. It's not easy, but it's massively defensible when you do figure it out. The thing also is hiring the right talent. So hiring leaders that actually have that background. So everyone that's a leader in our company has worked in multiple countries before. They're used to this lifestyle. They're not just a guy that grew up in New York City and never left New York City. Everyone that's a leader in our company has lived and led in other countries. Yeah, I think there's two points there, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I really think it's top down, and we hire leadership, especially senior leaders that are gonna open up other markets. Either they've worked in our offices with us before, and then they go, which is also a kind of cool way that we've expanded, is as people's lives change, we follow our leaders. When people want to move, we find a way to go help them open a new market naturally, as long as it makes business sense. What's nice in the physical world, that's every single city on earth, right? So the challenge that I find is, and I learned being a Valley guy, was that when I came out here, I just got my butt handed to me when we opened up China. Because you can't just instill Western cultures wholesale in the East. So I think that bottom up is a very interesting conversation too, but you can't afford, in my opinion, to have the local culture override your corporate culture. And I learned that at Apple because when we came to, if anyone remembers the story, we tried to come to China about 13, 14 years ago, and we were silent for 4 or 5 years because we had to swap the entire team. We really messed up back then. And now the new team that's been in China has done very well, but we royally screwed that up the first time Apple tried to enter China. We didn't really want to talk about that. And so I think it's challenging, no matter how big you think you are, that you're going to override a local culture. There has to be some middle ground. I love this advice. For me, it was the undoing of the training I had from being in San Francisco. It was recognizing that just trying to tackle a market, which most of this growth type investing, especially in the VC community, is about creating a 100-year business in 10 years, or being the #1 in an entire market at all costs. That shit's bullshit, right? Like, that's not how the real world works. It never has. It will never be the majority of how companies are built. 99.99999% of all companies will be profitable, not scalable, organically growing businesses. So don't get hung up on that. Know what's right for you and your business model. Like you said, know that your investors are aligned with your vision, and don't get forced into a business model by the hype and the media or by an overbearing investors or the ecosystem that's telling you that that's what's right. Do what's right for the problem you're solving, the customer you're addressing, and for your DNA, you and your co-founders, do what you believe in.
Do what you believe in, do what's right. You heard it from Laura, Steve, and Bay. We're out of time. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you.